The campaign against Jack Schulman, a battle for truth or a systematic smear? In the ever-evolving landscape of technological advancements, certain individuals stand out for their audacity in challenging the status quo. One such individual was Jack Schulman, a name that would soon become synonymous with controversy, not for his lack of intelligence, but for his daring efforts to unveil what others sought to suppress. His journey wasn't one of mere innovation, but a battle to expose the hidden truths behind the technologies that have shaped our modern world. Yet, his quest for truth came at a great cost, as it quickly became evident that forces greater than he were determined to discredit him and halt his revelations. At the core of Schulman's struggles was a relentless and calculated campaign designed to tarnish his image. Those in power, both in government and within certain corporations, felt threatened by his discoveries. These were not just any discoveries. Schulman had uncovered a significant amount of information that suggested the possibility of reverse-engineered extraterrestrial technology influencing the advancements of modern industry. This knowledge, had it been allowed to circulate freely, could have radically altered the trajectory of scientific research and technological progress. However, such power was not meant to be shared with the public. The powers that be recognized this threat and initiated a broad campaign to undermine Schulman's credibility. The campaign against Schulman didn't take the subtle form of disapproval or academic disagreement. It was a full-fledged assault aimed at discrediting him in the public eye. The first tactic was a psychological one, painting Schulman as a deranged, unstable individual. It wasn't enough to challenge his findings on a logical or scientific level. Instead, the focus shifted to attacking his character and integrity. He was portrayed not just as a man with potentially dangerous ideas, but as someone whose mental state was erratic and unreliable. In a world where public perception can often be manipulated, the narrative of a madman proved to be a powerful tool. However, the personal attacks did not stop at mere character assassination. As if to add weight to the growing campaign of slander, Schulman's business became a target in a more tangible way. His company, which had once operated peacefully, was repeatedly broken into. These weren't mere thefts, but deliberate invasions designed to send a chilling message. In several instances, confidential documents were planted in his office. This was no random act of vandalism, it was an orchestrated attempt to frame Schulman and further diminish his credibility. The goal was clear: by associating him with criminal activity or unethical practices, those behind the attacks could further discredit him in the eyes of the public. Yet, Schulman did not back down in the face of this onslaught. Instead of succumbing to fear or allowing the smear campaign to define him, he fought back. His response was swift and calculated. He took immediate legal action against any individuals or organizations involved in slandering him. His legal team began issuing cease and desist orders to halt the spread of false information. But beyond the legal defenses, Schulman also took proactive steps to ensure that his discoveries couldn't be hidden from the world. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, he began to speak publicly about the information he had uncovered. More importantly, he took the unprecedented step of making much of the data available online. By doing so, Schulman ensured that his findings could not be dismissed or locked away in secret patents. He was no longer merely a man with a theory, he was actively sharing his research with the world. This act of transparency, of opening up the doors to his findings, was a bold move that placed him in direct conflict with the interests of powerful corporations and government agencies. Schulman's willingness to share his knowledge publicly represented a direct challenge to the idea that scientific progress should be monopolized and controlled. At the heart of his decision was the belief that such information should belong to the public, not to a select few who might use it for personal or financial gain. In an era where intellectual property is jealously guarded, his actions were both revolutionary and dangerous. The campaign against Jack Schulman, a battle for truth or a systematic smear. This notion was far from new, but Schulman's findings seemed to offer compelling evidence that some of the technological leaps made during the late 1940s and early 1950s might have been influenced by materials and knowledge derived from extraterrestrial sources. This idea dovetailed with one of the most well-known events in UFO lore, the 1947 Roswell incident. According to official reports, the object that crashed near Roswell, New Mexico, was a weather balloon. However, this explanation never fully sat well with the public, and many skeptics continued to believe that the truth was being covered up. What made Schulman's revelations particularly intriguing was the possibility that the technological advancements made in the years following Roswell could have been tied directly to the extraterrestrial phenomena associated with the crash. Schulman didn't just speculate, he pointed to specific pieces of evidence that seemed to support this idea. These were not just random theories. They were based on real data, obtained through Schulman's own research. But the larger question remained: why was this knowledge being suppressed? Why were there forces so willing to go to such great lengths to silence one man and protect the status quo? Could it be that there were powerful interests at play, corporations and government entities that had everything to lose if this information were made public? If Schulman's claims were true, it would suggest that the technological breakthroughs of the modern world were not entirely the product of human ingenuity, but rather the result of otherworldly influence. And perhaps the most unsettling thought of all, what if these breakthroughs were intentionally kept from the public in order to preserve the dominance of certain industries? If extraterrestrial technology held the potential to revolutionize energy production, for example, could it be that this information was deliberately withheld in order to maintain the profitability of traditional energy sectors? The question looms larger. How many other groundbreaking technologies might exist, hidden behind closed doors, waiting to be revealed? And how much longer could this secrecy continue? As Schulman's battle unfolded, it became evident that his claims were not without merit. His courage in exposing what he had learned, despite the personal and professional risks, was commendable. He had become an unwitting whistleblower, challenging a system that sought to control knowledge and innovation. And while the details of his discoveries remain shrouded in mystery, his story serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between transparency and secrecy, progress and stagnation. This idea dovetailed with one of the most well-known events in UFO lore, the 1947 Roswell incident. According to official reports, the object that crashed near Roswell, New Mexico, was a weather balloon. However, this explanation never fully sat well with the public, and many skeptics continued to believe that the truth was being covered up. What made Schulman's revelations particularly intriguing was the possibility that the technological advancements made in the years following Roswell could have been tied directly to the extraterrestrial phenomena associated with the crash. Schulman didn't just speculate, he pointed to specific pieces of evidence that seemed to support this idea. These were not just random theories. They were based on real data, obtained through Schulman's own research. In the end, the campaign against Jack Schulman wasn't just about one man's struggle for truth. It was about a larger question. How far would society go to protect the secrets it holds? And what are we willing to sacrifice in the pursuit of knowledge? The answers to these questions may lie in the shadows, hidden behind layers of bureaucracy, power, and influence. But for Schulman, the fight for truth continues, one revelation at a time. Jack Schulman, an entrepreneur and tech researcher, found himself facing unimaginable challenges when he decided to go against the system and share his controversial findings. While his company initially appeared to be on a legitimate path, it didn't take long before his success was threatened by a systematic smear campaign designed to tarnish his credibility in the eyes of the public. The rumors that Schulman was deranged and dangerous weren't just spread through mainstream media channels. they also found their way into bizarre break-ins at his company's offices. The situation became even more disturbing when classified documents began to appear in his office, documents that did not belong to his company, but seemed intentionally planted to frame him. Instead of succumbing to these threats and obstacles, Schulman chose to fight back head-on. His company immediately took strong legal action to defend its reputation and protect its interests. Schulman knew that if he didn't fight back, the baseless accusations and smear campaign would never stop. They sued anyone spreading defamatory rumors about the company, and at the same time, they heightened security to safeguard both their assets and sensitive information. However, the most powerful action Schulman took wasn't through legal or security measures. It was through publicly sharing the information he had uncovered in the lab shopkeeper's notebook. While other companies might have feared revealing classified information, Schulman took the opposite approach. He decided to make public his findings on the technologies he had been researching, even posting technical data and findings online. His aim was to stop these discoveries from being patented and locked away from the public. Through this move, Schulman hoped that his discoveries would not be frozen or restricted, but would instead be accessible to anyone who wanted to research and develop these technologies further. One of the main reasons Schulman decided to share this information publicly was because he believed the technologies he was uncovering were not human-made inventions, but rather the result of reverse engineering extraterrestrial technology. He started raising a significant question. Could some of the groundbreaking advancements we see in modern technology have origins beyond Earth? Could we be unknowingly tapping into alien innovations? One of the key questions Schulman posed that may make many think twice is, could the technology we use today actually be derived from extraterrestrial discoveries? Throughout the 20th century, especially since the late 1940s, we witnessed tremendous technological advancements: computers, satellites, aerospace technologies, and many other fields. Could these advancements have been the result of human ingenuity, or was there something else, possibly alien influence, that played a role? This question becomes even more plausible when we consider one of the most famous events in UFO history, the 1947 Roswell incident. Despite the U.S. military's quick dismissal of the claim that they had recovered a flying saucer, the event still raises many unresolved questions. Some believe that the technologies developed after Roswell might indeed be the result of studying and applying alien technology that humans simply could not fully comprehend. Although the military later explained that the objects recovered at Roswell were merely weather balloons, the story is far from simple. In fact, the military initially made an official statement to the press claiming they had recovered a flying saucer. While this statement was later retracted, it cannot be dismissed so easily. This could be one of the biggest opportunities missed by the U.S. government and military in addressing the UFO and alien phenomenon. If we ignore their initial response, we may be overlooking one of the most important clues about the UFO mystery. In addition to questions about extraterrestrial technology, Schulman raised larger concerns about the control that large corporations and the government have over modern technologies. Are there advanced technologies that we are unaware of, hidden not for reasons of national security, but to preserve the financial power of industries? Are there technologies that could revolutionize energy production, for instance, but are being kept under wraps to protect the profits of energy corporations? One possible reason for keeping these technologies secret could be the potential upheaval they might cause in the global economic structure. New technologies could reduce our reliance on traditional energy sources, and that could destabilize industries that currently control massive wealth and resources. Governments and large corporations might fear that revealing these technologies would harm their profit margins, so they keep them hidden instead. With all these concerns, Schulman argued that a saying in the tech world might hold more truth than we think. What the public knows is available. The government is actually 3 or 4 decades ahead, if Schulman's claims are accurate. This statement could have far more validity than most of us would like to admit. The technologies we're aware of today could be just the tip of the iceberg, and the true innovations might be locked away, waiting to be released. Ultimately, the bigger question is whether we are living in a world where technology has the power to change everything, but is deliberately kept under wraps to maintain control and profit. Are we on the verge of discovering new technologies that could improve the environment, enhance energy efficiency, or even improve the quality of life for billions? Or will those breakthroughs be slowly dripped out to the public in incremental upgrades to existing devices, so that companies can continue to profit, while humanity as a whole remains in the dark about the true potential of these innovations? These are the questions that Schulman is trying to answer, and perhaps they will be the questions we all have to face in the future. Could modern technological advances be the result of reverse-engineered extraterrestrial technology? Could modern technological advances be the result of reverse-engineered extraterrestrial technology? One of the most compelling arguments for this theory emerges when we look at the rapid progression of technology that began in the late 1940s. This was a period marked by unprecedented advancements in several fields, from aviation and computing to nuclear energy. It is also the time when many believe the U.S. government encountered evidence of extraterrestrial life, particularly in the aftermath of the infamous 1947 Roswell UFO incident. The Roswell crash, though officially dismissed by the government as the result of a weather balloon accident, sparked intense public interest in UFOs and alien technology. Despite the official narrative, early statements by the U.S. military suggested they had recovered a flying disc from the crash site. This claim, though quickly retracted, remains one of the most significant moments in UFO lore. For many, the question isn't just whether extraterrestrial life exists, but whether the technology involved in such encounters could have influenced human innovation. The notion of reverse engineering alien technology isn't as far-fetched as it might sound. In fact, some researchers and whistleblowers have claimed that several technological breakthroughs, particularly in the fields of aerospace, energy, and computing, were actually inspired by or directly adapted from alien technologies. If this is true, then much of what we consider to be groundbreaking human invention could, in reality, have extraterrestrial origins. The timeline of technological advancements. To understand this idea more fully, it's essential to look at the timeline of technological advancements that emerged following the Roswell incident. After the supposed recovery of a UFO in 1947, several rapid developments occurred in a range of scientific fields. For instance, the jet engine, which was a relatively novel concept before the mid-20th century, quickly evolved into high-speed, supersonic military aircraft, as well as commercial airliners. At the same time, the space race was gaining momentum, leading to the eventual launch of Sputnik by the Soviet Union in 1957, followed by the United States' own space explorations. Moreover, the advent of the transistor in 1947 and the subsequent development of integrated circuits and microchips in the 1950s and 1960 seconds paved the way for the digital. Additionally, the development of nuclear energy during the 1940s and 1950 seconds is another area where some researchers believe alien technology played a role. The U.S. government's sudden interest in nuclear power and weapons following World War II raised eyebrows, particularly given the sudden proliferation of advanced military technology. Some conspiracy theorists argue that extraterrestrial materials or energy sources could have helped fuel the race to develop nuclear capabilities, giving the U.S. a significant edge in the global power structure. The Roswell incident and the government's response. The Roswell incident is central to the theory of reverse-engineered extraterrestrial technology. The event itself is shrouded in mystery, with conflicting accounts and official explanations leading many to believe that the government is hiding the truth. Initially, the U.S. military released a statement confirming that they had recovered a flying disc from the crash site. But this was quickly retracted, and a new explanation was offered. The object was merely a weather balloon. This about-face raised suspicions that the government was not being forthcoming about the true nature of the object that crashed in the New Mexico desert. For many, the initial military announcement was a key moment in the Roswell case. The statement seemed to suggest that the U.S. had indeed recovered something far more significant than a weather balloon. If this flying disc was, in fact, an alien spacecraft, then the implications for human technology would be profound. Could the U.S. government have been reverse engineering alien technology from the wreckage of the craft? If so, could some of the technological advances that followed be linked to this extraterrestrial influence? While the official line remains that the object recovered in Roswell was a weather balloon, many believe that the government was forced to cover up the truth. The idea that alien technology could exist and be reverse engineered by humans raises fundamental questions about the nature of scientific discovery and technological development. What if our understanding of technology has been shaped, in part, by extraterrestrial intelligence? The possibility of alien influence on modern technology. If the theory of reverse engineered extraterrestrial technology is correct, it could explain some of the most significant technological developments of the past several decades. For example, the rapid development of computers, satellites, and military aircraft during the Cold War era is often cited as evidence that something extraordinary happened in the years following the Roswell crash. Could it be that the U.S. government, in possession of alien technology, was able to fast-track these developments, ultimately leading to the creation of the advanced technologies we take for granted today? In addition to the physical technologies that might have been reverse engineered, some researchers speculate that the U.S. government may also have gained access to advanced alien knowledge about energy sources and propulsion systems. This could explain why, despite decades of technological progress, we have yet to see widespread use of clean, sustainable energy sources. If alien technologies were available, they could revolutionize energy production, providing humanity with abundant and environmentally friendly power. However, the question arises, why has this technology not been released to the public? Some argue that the answer lies in economic and political power. The oil and energy industries, which are worth trillions of dollars, have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. If clean energy were to become readily available, it could disrupt their profits and shift the balance of global power. The future of technological advancements and the alien connection. If the theory of reverse engineered extraterrestrial technology is true, it opens up a whole new world of possibilities for the future of human innovation. Imagine a world where technologies are not limited by the constraints of earthly materials and resources. If we were able to unlock the secrets of alien technology, humanity could achieve breakthroughs in energy, medicine, transportation, and space exploration that we can scarcely imagine. Yet, this also raises significant ethical and philosophical questions. If alien technologies exist and have been kept hidden from the public, what does this mean for our future? Should these technologies be shared with the world, or should they remain under lock and key to prevent misuse or exploitation? How would humanity handle the moral implications of possessing knowledge and technology far beyond anything currently available on Earth? In conclusion, the idea that modern technological advances could be the result of reverse-engineered extraterrestrial technology is both fascinating and troubling. While it may sound like the stuff of science fiction, the rapid advancements in technology since the 1940s, combined with the strange events surrounding the Roswell incident, make it a theory worth considering. If true, it would challenge everything we know about human ingenuity and our place in the universe. The military's initial response to the Roswell incident. A closer look at the weather balloon explanation. The Roswell incident remains one of the most iconic events in the history of UFO sightings, attracting the curiosity of millions of people around the world. It has sparked numerous debates, fueled conspiracy theories and inspired countless documentaries, books, and movies. At the heart of the controversy is the U.S. military's response to what was initially reported as the crash of a flying saucer in the remote New Mexico desert in 1947. This incident, which occurred just 2 years after World War II, would forever change the way people perceived both extraterrestrial life and the government's willingness to disclose information about UFOs. In July 1947, a mysterious object crashed near Roswell, New Mexico, and the incident quickly became a media sensation. Initially, a local press release issued by the military stated that a flying disc had been recovered from the crash site. This announcement immediately captured the public's attention, as it suggested the possibility of extraterrestrial involvement. The idea that the United States military had recovered a UFO and possibly even alien bodies seemed too extraordinary to ignore. However, this excitement was short-lived. Just a day after the press release, the military retracted its statement and offered a new explanation. The object recovered from the crash site was not a UFO but a weather balloon that had crashed. This sudden shift in the narrative raised many questions and created a sense of confusion and doubt. The explanation that it was merely a weather balloon seemed too convenient and simplistic, especially given the military's initial response. Over the years, this change in story would become a central point of contention for UFO enthusiasts, researchers, and skeptics alike. The shift from flying saucer to weather balloon, the original statement from the military declaring that a flying saucer had been recovered, was a groundbreaking admission. At the time, the notion of UFOs was still in its infancy, and the term flying saucer itself had only recently entered the popular lexicon, largely due to the wave of UFO sightings that had occurred after World War II. The public's fascination with the idea of alien life was at an all-time high, and the military's acknowledgement that a flying saucer had crashed seemed to validate those theories. However, the abrupt about-face from the military cast a shadow of doubt on the authenticity of their initial statement. The new explanation that the object was a weather balloon was offered by the U.S. Army Air Force, which had already been involved in the recovery and investigation of the wreckage. Weather balloons were a common tool used by the military for atmospheric research, and the U.S. government had developed them for various purposes, including collecting data on high-altitude weather conditions and nuclear tests. However, the idea that a weather balloon could have been mistaken for a flying saucer seemed far-fetched, particularly given the military's initial admission that it had recovered a UFO. The change in the story led many to question why the military had altered its explanation so quickly. Some speculated that the government had been pressured to cover up the truth about what had really crashed in Roswell. This new narrative, claiming that the object was nothing more than a weather balloon, seemed to be a convenient way for the military to dismiss the possibility of extraterrestrial involvement and downplay the significance of the incident, the implications of the initial military response. The military's original statement that they had recovered a flying saucer raises significant questions about what the U.S. government knew and when they knew it. If they had recovered a UFO, this would imply that the government had access to technology far beyond what was publicly known at the time. The fact that the military initially made such a bold statement suggests that they were either trying to share information with the public or that they were caught off guard by the event. However, the subsequent retraction and the introduction of the weather balloon explanation point to a more troubling possibility. The government may have been attempting to hide something far more extraordinary than a simple weather balloon. If the object had indeed been a UFO, it would raise questions about the existence of extraterrestrial life and the potential for advanced technology from other civilizations. Such a revelation could have had profound implications for national security, public opinion, and even international relations. The military's quick reversal also suggests that they were not prepared for the public's reaction to the initial statement. The concept of UFOs and alien life was still largely confined to the realm of science fiction at the time, and the idea that the government might be hiding such a monumental discovery would have been difficult for many to accept. By claiming that the object was merely a weather balloon, the military was able to quickly defuse the situation and maintain control over the narrative. Why the weather balloon story doesn't hold up. While the weather balloon explanation was offered as a straightforward and logical answer, many aspects of the story simply don't add up. For one, the military's initial announcement that a flying saucer had been recovered contradicts the later claims about the weather balloon. If the military had truly believed the object was a weather balloon from the outset, why did they first announce that it was a UFO? The sudden change in the story suggests that something more was at play. Furthermore, the physical evidence recovered from the Roswell crash site did not match the characteristics of a typical weather balloon. Witnesses who were at the crash site described seeing materials that were far more advanced than what was commonly used for weather balloons at the time. Some even claimed to have seen metallic fragments that seemed to have properties that defied explanation. These testimonies raise doubts about the official narrative and suggest that the object recovered at Roswell was something far more unusual than a weather balloon. The idea that a weather balloon could have been mistaken for a UFO also seems implausible, given the level of detail and the wide range of reports from eyewitnesses. Several military personnel who were involved in the recovery of the wreckage later spoke out, claiming that the object was unlike anything they had ever seen before. Their accounts, combined with the physical evidence found at the crash site, suggest that the true nature of the Roswell incident was deliberately obscured by the military, the consequences of the government's response. The military's handling of the Roswell incident has had lasting consequences on public trust in the government, particularly when it comes to matters related to UFOs and extraterrestrial life. The change in the official story created a sense of skepticism and fueled conspiracy theories that continue to this day. For many, the government's quick reversal only reinforced the belief that the military was hiding something far more significant than they were willing to admit. This mistrust has only grown over the decades, especially as new information has surfaced about the government's involvement in UFO investigations. In recent years, the U.S. government has declassified several documents related to UFOs, further fueling speculation about what really happened at Roswell. The release of these documents has raised new questions about the nature of the Roswell incident and whether the military has been hiding the truth for over 70 years. Conclusion: the Roswell incident and the government's secrets. The Roswell incident remains one of the most compelling and mysterious events in modern history. While the official explanation has been that the object recovered was simply a weather balloon, the original military statement that it was a flying saucer raises significant doubts about the true nature of the event. The military's quick reversal and the introduction of the weather balloon story suggest that the government may have been attempting to cover up something far more extraordinary. The unanswered questions surrounding Roswell continue to haunt those who seek the truth about UFOs and extraterrestrial life. As we look back on the Roswell incident, it is important to consider the possibility that the government's response may have been a deliberate attempt to obscure the truth. Whether or not extraterrestrial life exists, the incident raises important questions about transparency, accountability, and the lengths to which the government will go to protect its secrets. Until the full truth is revealed, the Roswell incident will remain a symbol of the mysteries that lie just beyond our understanding. The hidden truth: was Jack Schulman silenced for exposing alien technology? Throughout history, those who challenge the status quo often face tremendous resistance. Jack Schulman, the CEO of the American Computer Company, became one such figure in the late 1990s when he made bold claims about the U.S. government's involvement in reverse engineering alien technology. His assertions, particularly regarding the Roswell UFO crash and the development of modern computing, sent shockwaves through the scientific and UFO research communities. However, What followed was even more shocking. Schulman became the target of a campaign seemingly designed to discredit, intimidate, and ultimately silence him. The series of events that unfolded after Schulman's revelations raised serious questions. Why was he attacked so aggressively? Who was behind the efforts to destroy his credibility? And most importantly, was he telling the truth about hidden extraterrestrial technology? Jack Schulman's shocking claims. In December 1997, Schulman came forward with what he claimed was irrefutable proof that some of the most revolutionary technological advancements of the 20th century were not entirely the product of human ingenuity. Instead, he argued, they had been developed through reverse engineering of alien technology, most notably from the wreckage of the Roswell UFO crash in 1947. At the heart of his claims was a collection of documents he called the Lab Shopkeeper's Notebook. These papers allegedly contained classified details about the Roswell incident and its aftermath. According to Schulman, the U.S. military had retrieved an alien spacecraft from the crash and secretly studied its inner workings. The recovered technology was then discreetly distributed to major American corporations, including Bell Labs, IBM, and Monsanto, for further research and development. One of the most startling implications of this revelation was that the transistor, a key component in the evolution of modern electronics, may not have been a human invention at all. Officially, Bell Labs is credited with creating the first transistor in 1947, but Schulman pointed out that there was no clear technological progression leading to its development. In other words, it was as if the transistor appeared out of nowhere, a sudden breakthrough that conveniently aligned with the timing of the Roswell incident. If what Schulman was saying was true, it meant that the very foundation of our modern digital world, computers, telecommunications, and countless other technologies, was built on extraterrestrial knowledge. The immediate backlash. As soon as Schulman made his findings public, he was met with an overwhelming wave of hostility, ridicule, and personal attacks. At first, much of the criticism came in the form of online harassment. Various internet forums and discussion boards were suddenly flooded with posts discrediting him, calling him a fraud, a conspiracy theorist, and even mentally unstable. While such attacks might seem like standard behavior in the world of controversial theories, the situation quickly escalated beyond mere online slander, mysterious break-ins, and sabotage attempts. Shortly after he began speaking publicly about the Lab Shopkeeper's Notebook, Schulman reported that his company's offices were broken into multiple times. However, what was particularly suspicious about these break-ins was that rather than simply stealing items, the intruders planted classified government documents inside the office. It appeared to be a deliberate attempt to frame Schulman and his company for possessing unauthorized government materials. If these documents were later discovered by federal agents, it could have provided justification for shutting down his business, or even arresting him on espionage-related charges. Recognizing the danger, Schulman and his legal team acted quickly. They filed lawsuits against those spreading false claims, increased security measures at their offices, and continued to release portions of the documents online to ensure the information wasn't buried. Who was behind the attacks? The question remains, who orchestrated this aggressive campaign against Schulman? While there's no definitive proof, there are several plausible explanations. 1. Government agencies and national security interests. If Schulman's claims about reverse-engineered alien technology were even partially true, then the U.S. government, and particularly agencies like the CIA and ENSA, would have had a vested interest in silencing him. The existence of alien technology being studied in secret military facilities would be one of the most highly classified secrets in modern history. If exposed, it could shake public trust and reveal decades of deception. 2. Major corporations protecting their interests. If companies like Bell Labs, IBM, and Monsanto had indeed been given access to alien technology, then any exposure of this fact could have massive legal and ethical consequences. Investors, industry competitors, and even the general public would demand answers. Lawsuits and financial instability could follow. Therefore, it is not far-fetched to think that powerful business interests may have played a role in attempting to suppress Schulman's revelations. 3. A coordinated effort between both government and industry. The most likely scenario is that both government agencies and corporate entities work together to prevent Schulman's claims from gaining credibility. After all, the military-industrial complex has a long history of collaboration, and protecting advanced technologies, whether of human or extraterrestrial origin, would be in their mutual interests. The bigger picture: why does this matter? Even if one remains skeptical of Schulman's claims, the tactics used against him should raise alarms. If he were merely a conspiracy theorist without credible evidence, why go to such extreme lengths to discredit, intimidate, and sabotage him? If his findings were true, then this opens up several troubling questions. What other advanced technologies have been withheld from the public? Could we already have access to cleaner energy, more efficient transportation, or even medical breakthroughs that remain hidden to protect corporate profits? How much of our modern technological progress is truly the result of human innovation, and how much is derived from secret extraterrestrial knowledge? There is a well-known saying in technological circles: whatever the public knows, the government is at least 30 to 40 years ahead. If Schulman's claims hold any truth, that number could be even higher. Conclusion: a mystery that won't go away. Whether or not Jack Schulman was correct about the reverse engineering of alien technology, one thing is clear: he became the target of an organized effort to silence him. The smear campaign, break-ins, and legal threats suggest that he touched a nerve with powerful entities who didn't want the information to get out. The mystery of UFOs, alien technology, and government cover-ups continues to intrigue millions of people around the world. Schulman's case remains one of the most compelling pieces of the puzzle, and it serves as a stark reminder that sometimes those who seek the truth face the greatest opposition. If the lab shopkeeper's notebook truly contained evidence of extraterrestrial influence on our world, then the implications are staggering. The fight for transparency and disclosure is far from over. Perhaps in time, the truth will finally be revealed. Are advanced technologies being hidden from the public for profit? For decades, the question of whether governments and large corporations are deliberately withholding advanced technologies has fueled speculation and controversy. Some believe that revolutionary innovations, especially in the fields of clean energy, transportation, and medical advancements, are being suppressed to maintain financial and political control. If these claims are true, they could reshape how we view modern technological progress and the motives behind those who control it: the suppression of clean energy. One of the most widely discussed areas of technological suppression is clean, renewable energy. Fossil fuel industries, which generate trillions of dollars annually, have long been accused of obstructing advancements in alternative energy sources. There have been numerous reports of breakthrough inventions that could potentially revolutionize the way we generate and consume energy. Take, for example, the water-powered car. In the 1970s, inventor Stanley Meyer claimed to have developed a car that could run entirely on water through a process known as water electrolysis. This process would split water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, allowing the hydrogen to be used as fuel. Meyer's invention, if legitimate, could have ended dependence on oil. However, shortly after demonstrating his invention to investors, Meyer mysteriously died under suspicious circumstances. His cause of death was officially ruled as a brain aneurysm, but many believe he was silenced because his technology posed a major threat to the global energy market. His research notes and prototypes seemingly disappeared, leaving behind a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Similarly, Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest inventors of the 20th century, reportedly worked on wireless energy transmission, which could have provided free electricity to the world. His project, known as the Wardenclyffe Tower, was abruptly shut down, and his financial backing was pulled by industrialist J.P. Morgan, who allegedly realized that a system of free energy could not be monetized. When Tesla died, much of his research was seized by the U.S. government under national security concerns, leaving many to wonder what technological secrets were lost in the process, our medical breakthroughs being hidden. Another major area of concern is healthcare and pharmaceuticals. Many people believe that cures for diseases such as cancer, diabetes, and even Alzheimer's exist, but are being suppressed to keep the billion-dollar pharmaceutical industry thriving. For instance, Dr. Royal Rife, an American scientist in the early 20th century, claimed to have developed a machine that could destroy cancer cells using electromagnetic frequencies. His research allegedly showed promising results, with documented cases of terminal cancer patients recovering after undergoing his treatment. However, his work was met with extreme resistance. The American Medical Association, the AMA, and pharmaceutical companies discredited his research, and soon after, his laboratory was raided, his equipment destroyed, and his research was lost. The idea that pharmaceutical companies might profit more from treatment than from cures is not far-fetched. If a disease is curable, a company makes money once. However, if the disease is chronic and requires lifelong medication, profits continue indefinitely. This economic model raises an ethical dilemma. Is profit being prioritized over public health? The military's role in technological secrecy. Many believe that some of the most advanced technologies are not being withheld by corporations alone, but by military and intelligence agencies. The U.S. military has historically been decades ahead of the civilian sector in aerospace, computing, and surveillance technologies, for example, stealth technology, which is now a crucial part of modern military aircraft, was developed in the 1960s in 1,970 seconds, but wasn't publicly acknowledged until the 1990s. This raises the question, what other advanced technologies exist today that the public won't know about for another 30 to 50 years? There are claims that the government has developed zero-point energy, anti-gravity propulsion, and even time travel technologies, but these remain classified under national security protocols. If these technologies exist, their release could completely transform our world, eliminating energy crises, revolutionizing transportation, and ending scarcity in many industries. Why keep these technologies hidden? The primary reason these technologies might be suppressed comes down to money and power. If a free, unlimited energy source were released to the public, entire industries would collapse overnight. The oil and gas sector, the automobile industry, and even the electricity market would be rendered obsolete. Similarly, if a cure for cancer were made widely available, pharmaceutical companies could lose billions in revenue from chemotherapy drugs and treatments. Additionally, control over technology means control over society. Governments and corporations alike rely on a system where resources are limited and expensive because this ensures dependency. If people had access to free energy, independent food production, and advanced healthcare, they would no longer need to rely on governments or corporations to meet their basic needs. This could lead to major political and economic shifts that threaten those in power. How this affects you. For many, these ideas may seem like science fiction, but history shows that technological suppression is real. Even mainstream discoveries, such as the Wright brothers' invention of the airplane, were initially dismissed as hoaxes. Likewise, groundbreaking figures like Galileo and Tesla were ridiculed for their ideas, only for their contributions to later be recognized as world-changing. If we consider the possibility that life-changing technologies exist today, but are being kept hidden, the implications are profound. Imagine a world where Electricity is free and wireless, eliminating the need for power companies. Cars run on water or alternative energy, ending dependence on fossil fuels. Diseases like cancer and diabetes are easily curable, revolutionizing healthcare. If any of these possibilities exist, why aren't they available to the public? What can we do? Awareness is the first step toward uncovering the truth. People should question who benefits from current systems and consider who has the most to lose if revolutionary technology were to become widely available. Supporting independent researchers and whistleblowers is another key factor. Many inventors and scientists working on alternative energy, healthcare, and new forms of transportation struggle to gain mainstream attention due to resistance from larger industries. By spreading awareness and demanding transparency, society can push for more openness in technological development. Final thoughts. The idea that technology is being suppressed is no longer just a conspiracy theory. It is a logical consideration when examining history, economics, and government secrecy. While we may never have full access to classified information, history has shown that those in power rarely give up control willingly. If humanity is to progress beyond scarcity and artificial limitations, the public must remain vigilant, ask the right questions, and demand a future where technological advancements benefit everyone, not just the elite. Are revolutionary technologies being hidden to protect profits? For decades, rumors have circulated that groundbreaking technologies, ones that could revolutionize energy, transportation, and even medical science, have been deliberately suppressed. Some claim that governments and major corporations have access to advanced alien technologies, possibly recovered from UFO crashes like Roswell in 1947. Others suggest that human-made energy-efficient innovations have been intentionally withheld to protect the profits of the oil, gas, and energy industries, regardless of whether these theories involve extraterrestrial influence or not. One thing is certain: history has shown us that powerful industries have an incentive to maintain control over resources, even if it means slowing progress. Could it be that we already have the ability to eliminate fossil fuels, generate unlimited clean energy, and power the world without harming the environment? And if so, why haven't we seen these technologies become available to the public? The pattern of technological suppression. Throughout history, there have been numerous instances where groundbreaking inventions have either disappeared mysteriously or faced strong resistance from powerful interests. Here are a few examples. Nikola Tesla and wireless energy. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest inventors of the early 20th century, worked on a project that could have changed the world forever: wireless electricity transmission. His Wardenclyffe Tower, built in New York in the early 1900s, was designed to transmit electrical energy wirelessly across great distances. Tesla believed energy could be provided to the entire world for free, eliminating the need for costly infrastructure like power lines. However, Tesla's funding was cut off when J.P. Morgan, one of the most powerful industrialists of the time, realized that free energy could not be monetized. The Wardenclyffe Tower was ultimately destroyed, and Tesla's vision never became a reality. This incident serves as a prime example of how big business can suppress technology that threatens its profits. Stanley Meyer's water-powered car. In the 1990s, Stanley Meyer developed a car engine that could run on water instead of gasoline. His invention, known as the water fuel cell, supposedly used a process called electrolysis to separate hydrogen from water, creating a highly efficient and clean-burning fuel source. Meyer claimed that his technology could allow cars to run for hundreds of miles on just a few gallons of water. However, after demonstrating his invention, Meyer was suddenly taken to court over patent disputes. Soon after, he mysteriously died under suspicious circumstances during a dinner meeting, allegedly clutching his throat and saying, "They poisoned me." His research was confiscated, and no one has successfully replicated his work since. The suppression of zero-point energy. Many physicists have suggested that zero-point energy, a theoretical form of unlimited free energy that exists in the fabric of space, could be harnessed if the right technology were developed. In the 1950s and 1960 seconds, numerous patents related to free energy devices were filed, but many were classified by the U.S. government under national security laws. If zero-point energy were real, it could provide unlimited, clean power, eliminating the need for fossil fuels and nuclear energy. Yet, despite advancements in quantum physics, research into this area is still considered fringe science. Why? If such energy sources exist, they would pose a direct threat to the multi-trillion-dollar energy sector. Who benefits from keeping these technologies hidden? If revolutionary technologies do exist, and if they are being suppressed, then who benefits from this secrecy? The answer is large corporations, governments, and industries that rely on outdated energy sources. Big oil and fossil fuel industries. The oil and gas industries generate hundreds of billions of dollars every year. If free energy sources were made widely available, companies like ExxonMobil, Chevron, and Shell could become obsolete. These corporations have a vested interest in ensuring that the world remains dependent on oil, gas, and coal, even at the cost of environmental destruction. Electricity and utility companies. Power companies profit from charging people for electricity. If Tesla's wireless energy or zero-point energy became mainstream, it would disrupt the entire energy grid, eliminating the need for centralized power plants. This would take control away from corporations and place it in the hands of individuals, allowing people to power their homes and devices for free. Military and government agencies. If governments possess secret energy technologies, they may be using them for military purposes rather than public benefit. Imagine a world where a single country had access to unlimited energy, while the rest of the world remained dependent on oil and coal. Such an advantage would be too powerful to share. The U.S. military has been known to classify patents under national security laws, preventing inventors from releasing their discoveries to the public. Could it be that some of these classified patents relate to free energy devices or anti-gravity propulsion recovered from UFOs? What would happen if these technologies were released? If suppressed technologies were made available to the public, the world would change dramatically. Here's how. End of the fossil fuel industry. Oil, gas, and coal companies would collapse as clean, unlimited energy would become the new standard. Elimination of energy poverty. Millions of people who lack access to electricity could power their homes for free. Reduced environmental damage, pollution, deforestation, and climate change would slow significantly as clean energy replaces fossil fuels. Advancements in space travel. If anti-gravity propulsion and free energy exist, space exploration would become much easier, potentially leading to human colonization of other planets. However, these changes would also threaten the existing power structures, which is why many believe these technologies remain hidden. Is there hope for the future? Despite the challenges, there is hope that these technologies will eventually be revealed. Independent researchers and private inventors continue to explore alternative energy solutions. With the rise of the internet and global information sharing, it is becoming harder to suppress information completely. Additionally, public awareness and demand could push governments to declassify energy-related patents and fund further research into alternative energy sources. The more people become aware of these possibilities, the harder it will be for corporations to maintain their control over the energy industry. Final thoughts. It is clear that humanity has the potential to break free from its dependence on fossil fuels and traditional energy sources. Whether the key to this lies in advanced human inventions or reverse-engineered alien technology, the biggest obstacle is not science, but corporate and government interests. The question is, how long will we allow these powerful institutions to dictate the future of energy, technology, and progress? Perhaps one day, the truth will come to light, and the world will witness the unveiling of technologies that have been hidden for decades, technologies that could change the course of human history forever. The hidden technological advancements. Are we decades behind what the government knows? Throughout history, technological advancements have been the driving force behind the evolution of society. From the Industrial Revolution to the digital age, humanity has consistently pushed the boundaries of what is possible. However, a lingering question remains. Are the technological developments we see today truly the most advanced that exist? Or is there knowledge that has been deliberately withheld from the public? Some experts and researchers believe that governments, particularly the United States, are decades ahead in technology compared to what is available to the general public. If this theory holds any truth, what are the implications for society, and why would such secrecy exist? The theory of suppressed technology. There has long been speculation that highly advanced technologies are being kept hidden behind closed doors. The common belief is that government agencies, particularly those involved in defense and intelligence, possess scientific breakthroughs that could revolutionize industries, but choose to keep them classified. The reason for this secrecy varies depending on the perspective. Some argue that it is for national security, while others suggest that financial and corporate interests play a major role. A well-known phrase in the tech world suggests that the technology available to the public is at least 30 to 40 years behind what the military and government possess. If this is true, the smartphones, artificial intelligence, and medical advancements we see today may be nothing compared to what is already being used behind closed doors, evidence from whistleblowers and declassified documents. Over the years, numerous whistleblowers and former government officials have made claims that seem to support the idea of suppressed technology. One such individual is Philip J. Corso, a former U.S. Army officer and National Security Council member. In his book, The Day After Roswell, Corso claimed that many technological advancements, including fiber optics, night vision, and even integrated circuits, were reverse engineered from extraterrestrial technology retrieved from the Roswell crash in 1947. Additionally, declassified documents have revealed several government projects that experimented with advanced technology far beyond what was publicly known at the time. For instance, during the Cold War, the U.S. military worked on Project Stargate, which explored remote viewing and psychic phenomena. While this project may seem unrelated to technological advancements, it suggests that the government has always been interested in pushing the boundaries of human capabilities and intelligence beyond what is generally accepted, the role of private corporations. One of the most intriguing aspects of this theory is the involvement of private corporations. The idea is that rather than keeping all technological advancements within government agencies, certain breakthroughs are passed to private companies under strict agreements. These companies then slowly release innovations to the public in a controlled manner, allowing for maximum financial gain while maintaining secrecy. For example, Jack Schulman, former CEO of the American Computer Company, made controversial claims that Bell Labs' development of the transistor was not an organic scientific breakthrough, but rather a result of reverse engineering alien technology. The transistor is considered one of the most significant technological inventions of the 20th century, laying the groundwork for modern computing. If Schulman's claims are true, it suggests that our technological evolution has been artificially controlled to prevent society from advancing too quickly. Why keep technology hidden? If the government truly has access to technology that is decades ahead of what we know, the natural question is, why keep it a secret? There are several plausible reasons for this. 1. National security. If a country develops advanced technology, especially in weaponry or defense systems, It would be a strategic disadvantage to disclose such information to the public, as adversaries could attempt to replicate it. 2. Economic control. The slow release of technology allows corporations and governments to maintain economic stability. If groundbreaking energy sources or medical cures were suddenly revealed, it could collapse major industries overnight. 3. Public readiness. Some believe that society may not be psychologically prepared to handle knowledge of advanced technology or extraterrestrial involvement. Governments may fear mass hysteria or resistance to changes that could disrupt social structures. 4. Power and influence. Keeping technology classified ensures that only a select few remain in control. If the general public had access to free energy, instant medical healing, or highly advanced artificial intelligence, the balance of power could shift drastically. Examples of suppressed technology. Many researchers believe that some of the following technologies already exist within classified military or government programs, but have not been made available to the public. Advanced energy sources. Technologies like cold fusion or zero-point energy could eliminate the need for fossil fuels, but their implementation would threaten trillion-dollar industries in oil and gas. Artificial intelligence. While AI is currently making waves, it is possible that far more advanced forms of AI exist within government projects, capable of automation and intelligence beyond public knowledge. Cure for major diseases. The medical industry is one of the largest in the world. If a cure for cancer or other major diseases were discovered, it would significantly disrupt pharmaceutical profits. Anti-gravity and space travel. Some whistleblowers suggest that anti-gravity propulsion systems have been developed but are kept hidden to maintain economic control over transportation industries. What if the truth came out? Imagine waking up tomorrow to a world where suppressed technologies were released to the public. What would happen? Energy would become virtually free, leading to the collapse of the fossil fuel industry, but also the rise of new sustainable economies. Healthcare would be revolutionized, with diseases that were once thought incurable being eliminated overnight. Transportation would change forever, with vehicles capable of hovering and space travel becoming a reality for civilians. The economy would shift dramatically, as industries built on artificial scarcity and control would crumble, while new industries would emerge based on innovation and accessibility. While this future sounds promising, it also presents challenges. Governments and corporations that have spent decades maintaining control would likely resist such changes. The transition could be chaotic, as power dynamics would shift rapidly. Conclusion: a future worth exploring. The idea that governments are keeping technology decades ahead of what we know is both fascinating and unsettling. Whether these theories hold absolute truth or are merely speculation, one thing is clear: technological advancements do not always follow a natural progression. There are gaps, unexplained leaps, and moments in history where technology seems to have appeared out of nowhere. If society continues to ask questions and push for transparency, perhaps one day the truth will be revealed. Until then, we are left wondering what wonders of science and technology are hidden just beyond our reach.